Hey team, today we are going to talk about what might just be the single best side hustle opportunity for all of us today. My name is Walker Daigle. I am author of Buy Then Build and creator of the Acquisition Lab. And one of the things that we talk about frequently is the benefits of buying an existing business over starting one, okay? But today I want to take a slightly different approach. I'm not going to talk about why buying is necessarily better than starting, but just briefly, it's the ROI, the margin of safety, the equity buildup, which brings real estate economics into entrepreneurship, and then it's sort of a money ball for startups because you already have revenue, infrastructure, product market fit, customers, and drumroll, earnings, okay? And because it has earnings, it's of course bankable, and you can get bank loans to acquire existing companies. So access to capital is very simple. But the thing is that I get a number of people in the acquisition lab that are sort of toying with, can I do a full-time search for a business, or can I do a part-time search for a business? And I started to think about it, and I kind of realized a couple of things. One, there's so many people out there that only have the ability to do a part-time search, and moreover, people come to the lab because they know they're looking to buy a business and they want, education, tools, community, all the rest of it, coaching. But the thing is that there's so many people out there, a bigger net of people that are looking for okay, how do I get a side hustle? How do I, join the gig economy, buy, real estate or whatever it might be. So the thing is it occurred to me when I look back at my 10 years of acquiring different businesses, the one that I bought on the side of buying other companies was actually an e-commerce site. And it's worked out beautifully because ultimately, when you're looking at buying an existing company, it's sort of like, okay, am I looking for my full-time job that I'm going to go in and lead this company and manage the team and, grow the business and sort of, live that entrepreneurship lifestyle? Or do I want to sort of, buy the 4-hour work week, so to speak, right? And kind of, work not a lot of hours, but, generate, millions in revenue potentially. So the thing is first, let's unpack what makes a good side hustle, right? You're working in a job, you want to aspire to do different things. You might even be, hooked on that paycheck, right? And unable to kind of say I'm not going to take a paycheck to run out and go start a business or, whatever. I've got kids, whatever the reason is. So the thing is number one, a side hustle by definition has to be part-time, right? So it's got to be part-time. Number two, it really should have a strong, at least strong potential for strong dollars per hour worked, okay? Number three, because you don't have a lot of hours to work, and so you want to increase that amount. Number three, it either leverages existing skills that you already have, or it provides a playground in order to learn new skills that you could actually merge with your existing job to grow both to new heights, okay? And four, it would have the potential to ultimately replace your income or your job, right? So it's sort of like a path to financial independence, right? And so the thing about buying an existing business, right, as a side hustle is you get ownership, meaning you own the whole thing, all right? Which not only is great because you own all of the equity, but also because you can actually expense pre-tax things that you're having to spend money on post-tax. For example, if you were to buy an online business as a side hustle, all of a sudden just that internet expense at your home that you pay every month becomes a business expense of your business. Okay, so it's pre-tax dollars. You can make arguments for a home office. You can make arguments for even an automobile. I mean, different things that are in your life. Meals and entertainment becomes a line item, right? So there's certain benefits that come with ownership of a business outside of the fact that you own the whole business, okay? So there's that component. Then if you look at, what are the different choices that we have as a side hustle, right? You've got, joining the gig economy. So spending a few hours providing a service or driving people around with your car and Uber or whatever. Number two is real estate. Okay, so this is good. I can go buy a building, maybe even with some leverage or all in cash, and maybe make a 7% cap rate, and you have a hard asset there. That is utterly fantastic kind of benefit. I'll leave it to you to figure out what kind of maintenance goes into that. But then it's like you could start a business. Like some people try to start a website or a business kind of on the side, right? And or you can buy a business and have it be part-time, okay? This isn't really my go-to. This isn't really what I talk about the most. But when I look back at my own experience and I realized I bought a company to manage, I bought a company, put a manager in, and then I even bought my own side hustle along the way. That side hustle, I bought it for about 1.2 to 1.4 million, and then it was doing about 1.9 million in revenue, and that was about 5 years ago, and we just closed out the year at 3.4 million in revenue. So we've been able to grow it during that time period as well, right? So and although it took a lot of work up front, sort of getting all the systems in place, leveraging all the people, understanding the business, building up my own skill set, if I really think about it, I worked really hard for like 3 to 12 months. And then once you've got the system kind of going and the different responsibilities with your team, it doesn't take a huge amount of effort to keep going. And I probably work 4 hours a week on that business, except for a couple of times a year. There might be a special project, there might be, whatever. But part of the thing that it's gotten me comfortable with and good at is actually being able to delegate, okay? So because I have income coming from other places, I don't even need the money that's coming from over here. So it's very easy for me to say like, okay, I'm gonna outsource this task, I'm gonna pay for it through the earnings of the company, and I want you to do it, and I need, and we're gonna have follow-ups and deadlines, okay? So with a customer service team, with a bookkeeper, with, paid ads, with SEO, it's all outsourced to different people that make up my team. But at the same time, I've got no employees, and it's very lightweight, okay? The thing is when you think about it, it's like, okay, well, what kind of online businesses would be available, right, to me? And it's not just e-commerce. That's there. There's e-commerce. There's fulfilled by Amazon businesses or other platforms. There's content sites which make money through affiliate links, or you can sell ads and get ad revenue from Mediavine or some of these other companies that will place ads on your site. You can have an educational company. The Acquisition Lab is a very, well, look, I wrote Buy Then Build, and it's been on the bestseller list on Amazon for 4 years running, every single month. So, it's just one of those things, like you do the work and then it becomes somewhat passive, right? And so then you've got SaaS companies and you've got lead gen companies, okay? This is the common lineup of online-based businesses, as any of these are available to you to either start or, as I preach, acquire, right? And so the thing is like, it's like, what skills? Let's unpack this. Like, what skills do I need to actually succeed in this space? Well, it's really, at the end of the day, like 4 things, like SEO, search engine optimization, understanding it, okay? PPC, paid ads, being able to run profitable paid ads to certain traffic, whether that be Facebook, Google, whatever. Social media, all right, social media skills. Project management skills, okay? Meaning, I've got my customer service, I've got my bookkeeper, I've got this project I'm running over here, and you keep a steady rhythm of the things that need to get done, right? The big one that I honestly believe is really hard to get unless you actually own a business is cash flow management, okay? And again, if it's a side hustle, you shouldn't need the money in short order, okay? For example, if I buy a company that's doing $1 million in revenue, and let's just say it's got a 20% seller's discretionary earnings, which is a little on the high side, but also in the normal range. That might be $200,000 a year. Let's just say that I use 90% debt in order to finance it, the acquisition. I can buy this company with $100,000 down, and it's going to cost me a little less than $100,000 a year to pay that principal and interest. Okay, and that's going to be probably a 10-year note. So over 10 years I'll be paying it. But if I don't need the money, I can reinvest the money back in. I can hire more teams to make it grow faster. I can pay down debt faster. And again, if I'm working and I buy a business for a 3 or 4 times earnings, I can choose to pay down that debt even faster and own that company, say in about 5 years. Okay, so if you grow a company, so let's just say you bought a company at $1 million, okay, and you used one of these few skill sets that you know of, you manage, or You shouldn't tackle all of them, but ultimately, you can work on learning one, okay? And learn how to leverage even just one of those things to increase one of three things. The average order value per transaction, the number of customers that you sell to, or the number of transactions per customer. Those are really the three ways that you grow a business, specifically an online business, okay? So if you buy a company and it's doing $1 million in revenue, okay, you decide to pay, I'm working my day job, I decide to pay down the debt aggressively, okay, I also reinvest to grow the business, okay? What happens is in about 5 years, you would then own that company outright, but it went from $1 million acquisition to a market value of, 1.6 million just in 5 years. So you can either choose to sell that for 1.6 million, which you made in 5 years, which is fantastic, or you can continue to run that business. Now you've paid off the principal and interest, and now you're bringing in approximately $320,000 a year from that asset that you bought 5 years ago, okay? So yet again, you've got the equity buildup, you've got a part-time side hustle, right? And then you've got a proven thing that's out there, and you're not having to sacrifice what many of us think is safety of a day job, or more specifically, the predictability of your current paycheck. If you are interested in buying a business in the next 12 months, we created the Acquisition Lab to help people navigate the private capital markets and learn about valuations, what's important, how to run a search, how to negotiate a deal and get it done. We've got world-class education, group coaching, tools, and a community of vetted buyers. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.